Hello, my name is Stephen Green. It is currently May 17, 2014. I'll be presenting my case analysis home based on video. I'll be presenting it by YouTube. Is where you can find it, the link. Um, this case analysis is in regards to the place where I work. It's called Richland County Children's Services. I've been working there for approximately 2.5 years, and have a little bit of experience doing some casework with families and children. This presentation will tell mostly about how Richland County Children's Services can best gain or sustain a competitive advantage over other agencies, just comparing just different things that they do um, with different agencies that are close or nearby to Richland County, such as Ashland County and Crawford County. Richland County Children's Services provides services as far as providing shelter, food, clothing for children and their families. This can be done by navigating a family through available sources within the county, or even providing funding that comes from the state to help the family. Um, they do have the mission, a mission statement. Um, Basically, it is, like I said, is to protect children that are at risk of abuse and neglect of dependency, to provide children the opportunity to live in a safe and nurturing permanent family, to strengthen and support families in need of things for their children. Also, to partner with people of the Richland County and to provide services necessary to protect their children and strengthen families and promote well-being. There are some other things as far as the mission goes as well. It just speaks on how every child has a permanent family, which provides a safe, loving environment that is emotionally and economically stable. We want to make sure everything's okay in the home. Also, all the children can develop their full potential by having a physical, emotional, educational, cultural, spiritual, developmental, and special needs met. So all those things need to be met as according to the mission as well. All families have to have the skills and resources to maintain their integrity, function to the best of their ability, and be able to be responsible to their family members. Um, Also, it says that a community that invests in the future of its children by providing services, empowering families. A community whose members respect diversity, support the strengths and the racial culture, ethnicity, heritage of families and neighborhoods. So basically, that's just their mission statement overall. Um, After reviewing the mission statement, I do have I want to say, some additions that I would um, add to it to make it more of a revised statement. It's very brief. It's very vague how they um, explained it. But if I were to add, a revised mission statement, I would mention something that has to do with community service. I would say something like they would need to partner with people of Richland County to provide community services, including individual, group, family counseling, and giving access to maybe food and clothing pantries or things like that to help with financial crisis that families may have. Richland County Children's Services would also have to take pride and responsibility of the children's safety within the community. So that's one thing that I would also add. I would add something about just explaining the database that they use at Richland County Children's Services. Um, just explaining that the database that they have is continually growing, um, and that it includes highly confidential information, and it has access to families that have history within the agency. I think it's very important for everyone to know about that. Also, I would include a part where it would say something about mandated reporters, about how Richland County Children's Services has to support every mandated reporter. That's policemen, doctors, schools, school teachers, nurses, these people because they are the eyes and ears of the community, and that would also help the agency as well. I would also add additional benefits as far as Richland County Children's Services can provide moral support, um, fair pay, wages, and good job benefits for their workers as well. So that's just something that I would add as far as that goes when it comes to their mission statement. Um, I believe that um, the additions to the mission statement are definitely an improvement from the original mission statement. I mean, just like Richland County Children's Services competitors and agencies, they're Ashland County and Crawford County Children's Services. Um, they're all very vague as far as what I found in their mission statements as well. Basically, I mean, the goal is to protect the children and to make sure they're safe, um, but it did not go into further detail and other things that they can do as well. And so, the revised statement included internal and external benefits and supports that pertain to Richland County Children's Services. Um, Now, going along further into the case analysis, um, when coming up with something that could better the agency, you have to think of everything. You have to think of internal weaknesses and strengths, and you have to think of external weaknesses and strengths, or opportunities and threats. First, I will just start talking about a little bit of the internal strengths. I do have a list of them, and they are training opportunities are available and provided for all the workers at Richland County Children's Services. The agency vehicles, we do have agency vehicles that are available for workers. Workers have the opportunity to work and do overtime. Workers have access to their director at the agency, which is big. Some people can't get to their director; they're just too busy. But at this agency, we do have access to our director. Workers have access to a nurse on staff. Workers have access to cell phones. We have company cell phones that are provided for us. Um, the agency has even provided funding for families. If we need to help out our families on our workloads, we're able to do so. It says the agency is involved in public relations and community services. So just saying that we're involved in things like that. These are some of the strengths that are internal within the agency. As far as weaknesses go, there are some weaknesses. The agency does not have security officials in the building. If something were to happen where it would be very detrimental to someone's safety, we do not have officers or anyone on staff that could help us. We would have to call 911 and wait. Um, so that's one bad thing. The agency will not be offering raises for the next couple of years. This is due to levies not passing. That's another internal weakness as well. Our funding comes from the state, and it also comes from the people within the community. If they don't want us, if they don't support us, then we can't support ourselves. So, and that means no more raises for us until we can get a good balance, until some levies are passed. Um, it says there are less caseworkers, which means there are higher caseloads for all the workers there. And with this comes low morale in the workplace due to the high caseloads. I mean, people don't want to be there. Um, Also, the funding in the agency is dependent on the state, like mentioned before, levies and things like that. Workers are not permitted to carry firearms. I mean, this is no one. I don't know of anyone that's across the states that are allowed case workers to carry firearms, but it may be helpful because we are unarmed when we're dealing with hostile people. Um, the agency software that we use frequently malfunctions. Although it is a great database that has a lot of information, we always get issues with it crashing or things happening and we're losing information. Um, False reports are often called in at the agency, just from people just nagging at other people, um, just creating higher case loads, and again, just making it more of sad place to work in where morale just also goes low as well, just because of false reports that are often called in on other families. And these are the internal weaknesses. And as far as the external weaknesses goes, that's how they. This is how it's going to pan out. Externally, outside of the agency, there are many mental health facilities that can be utilized, um, and this is opportunities. These are opportunities, the good things that go on externally. Um, there are developmental disability facilities for people, public assistance programs such as the Department of Job and Family Services, um, support for children and their families in Richland County Children's Services, multiple opportunities for education. I mean, kindergarten through 12th grade, undergrad through the master's program. Multiple child care facilities are available to families. Public transportation is always available. Um, and there also is a high demand for technical positions in Mansfield, Richland County Children's Services. Um, then they provide resources for parents to get jobs in that field. Um, Mansfield offers a chance for people to experience national attractions like we have a carousel there and also fairs and things like that. So there are some good external things that are going on in Richland County that Richland County Children's Services are involved with. Now there are also some threats that they face as well. Some of those threats are things like the unemployment rate for the county is 8.3%, which decreased from a rate of 10.3%. There is a decrease in population. There's also a lack of cultural diversity, lack of job availability. There's a high crime rate compared to the size of the county itself. There's also a high caseworker caseloads. So, I mean, these are all things that pretty much just base around the good and the bad and the pros and the cons of the agency. And when you're doing a case analysis, you have to go over everything, not just all the positives, but the negatives as well, not just internal situations that occur, but the external things as well. And coming up with all of these things, I created a matrix, and in the matrix it has all of the pros and the cons and the strengths and the weaknesses, and it basically came down to the boosting of the morale in the workplace, and that's pretty much what needs to change in order to make Richland County Children's Services a better place competitively. Um, Basically, attitudes in the workplace can be vital when the job has mandates and time frames. By changing the attitudes of the workers within the agency, it will increase work performance in the workplace. Um, when workers are happy and productive, management seems to be very easy. Boosting morale does not have to come with a price. Morale can be boosted simply by doing positive things in the workplace, is being having a positive attitude in the workplace. But on the flip side, morale can be boosted with pay increases, raises, bonuses, or other job perks within the agencies. Um, in this case, projected costs for boosting morale will probably depend on the manager, supervisor, or director, how much they're willing to put into it. It's all in their hands. Um, like I said, it doesn't have to be based around money. It can be based around just how you treat people in general to make the workplace a better place. Um, Boosting morale in the workplace does not have to have a time frame as well. It is something that can take effect immediately if desired. Um, in order to track progress for morale in the workplace, a mandate you can do like a mandated survey to all the workers annually, monthly, however you would like to do it. The survey could provide a portion where the workers could provide information just saying what could change or stay the same within the workplace to make it a better place. And that's my conclusion as far as this goes. Changing the morale in the workplace will probably be the best way to be competitive, or to stay more competitive at Wilson County Children's Services. Thank you for your time.